I've seen a bunch of videos on YouTube where YouTubers talk specifically about how much money they make on YouTube, and these are all great and they usually have fun little tidbits, but the main problem I see with a lot of these videos are these are generally really big YouTubers. They have a lot of views, they have a lot of subscribers, they make a good chunk of money. The other thing with a lot of these videos is they don't show other sources of income like Amazon affiliates or sponsorships or things like that. My YouTube channel is not a very big YouTube channel. I have right now just fewer than 10,000 subscribers. I don't get a whole ton of views. I do, however, make money on YouTube. I'm pretty happy with the amount of money I make on YouTube. So I'm going to talk specific numbers about that. I am also going to talk exactly how much money I make with my Amazon affiliates. So hopefully some of this information is either interesting or maybe helpful to you. At the end of this video, I do want to look at some of my videos that are doing fairly well, some that are not. So if you are a YouTuber just starting out, maybe you have like 100 subscribers, 1,000 subscribers, whatever, I want to give you an idea of what might happen to your channel once you hit like the 10,000 subscriber milestone so you can know exactly what to expect. Hopefully you can get some tips or pointers from some takeaways that I will share later on in this video. For the entire year of 2020, I made about $6,500 in YouTube AdSense or YouTube revenue. There are a few things that I want to point out here. So with the views, you can see that there's basically a pretty steady growth, but nothing too major. There is, however, a big spike in views at the beginning of March. That was not from a video I made this year, but from another video I made a few years back. I'll talk a little bit more about that later on in this video. The other thing to notice is that my revenue increase is actually much better than my view increase, which I like. So to put these numbers in context for me, I actually threw all this information together in a spreadsheet. So you'll notice here that I created only 10 videos this year. And if I count only the money that I made from these 10 videos, it's just about $2,000. So not really a lot. But I did start this channel in 2011, and you can see that the monies I made from 2011 until now are still making money for me. So I estimated that I've spent about 5 hours on each video I made. So if you divide the amount of money I made just from the videos I created in 2020 with the number of videos I made, it comes to be about $200. Or if you take my estimation of spending about 5 hours on each video, that ends up being about $40 an hour, which is actually pretty good. I'm pretty happy with that. The main reason for that though is because this year I actually had a video that uncharacteristically did surprisingly well. So what's even better is if you factor in the money that I made from videos that I created not this year but in years past, and you can see that it ends up being a bit closer to $130 an hour. So yeah, if I could get lucky like that and make that kind of revenue for every video I made, I would 100% quit my day job and just make videos all day and make $130 an hour. That would be pretty, I would like that. Little spoiler alert though, I don't do this for a living, and not all of my videos do really that well. And as we'll see later on in this video, some of my videos are downright pretty horrible. Let's talk Amazon affiliates for a while. Some of my videos actually feature different products, so I have Amazon affiliate links in these videos. And in Amazon, you can actually do reports of the Amazon affiliates that you make, but an issue that I have is that I actually have a couple of YouTube channels. So for me to break down which Amazon affiliate money came from which channel, I had to put everything into a spreadsheet so I could separate the two. So for this channel in particular, I earned about $1,500 with Amazon affiliates for the year 2020, which is not really as good as my YouTube revenue, but hey, still $1,500. So now if you go back to my other sheet and you add in YouTube earnings with Amazon earnings, I made a total of about $8,000, which ends up being roughly $160 an hour. Remember though, most of this money is piggybacking off the work I've done in previous years. Most of this is not from videos I've made this year. One really important thing that I want to point out at this time is it's nearly impossible for me to estimate how much time I actually spend creating these videos. While I put as an estimation about 5 hours per video, the reality is a lot of these videos I spend a lot of time researching or thinking about or just doing things online that I don't really consider working on this video. For example, one video I did this year that performed really well is I made a video on refinancing a home mortgage. And the reason I made that video was because I was in the process of doing that, and I actually put together a spreadsheet. I spent a lot of time on the spreadsheet. Like we're talking probably at least 10 to 20 hours just making the spreadsheet. But this spreadsheet was for my benefit for refinancing my home. It wasn't specifically for this YouTube video, even though I knew I'd probably make a video for it. Keep in mind, when I make a YouTube video, it's hard to say how much of this time is spent specifically for YouTube versus how much of this time is just doing things I would normally do, which is something specific to this channel. I want to make sure that I'm doing videos that are things that I like to do and things I'm doing anyway. I don't really want to spend time specifically for making YouTube videos. So yeah, 5 hours per video is probably not really a good way to estimate if you consider other factors in for how much time I spent, researching or doing other things. It's way less than $160 an hour, but it's probably still more than minimum wage, so I'm pretty happy about that. Now I want to spend some time in this video talking about some of my videos that did well and some that did not do so well. So as I mentioned, I did a mortgage refinance video that ended up doing really quite well. So right after that, I decided I will do something very similar. So I did a spreadsheet for calculating price for a car. I thought it was really cool. I spent a lot of time on the spreadsheet, put the video out there, and it's got about 200 views so far. I've made about $2. So yeah, spent about 10 to 20 hours on that to make $2. Not quite minimum wage on that one. Here's another video I did where I was basically reviewing a scanner, and I scanned an entire book, spent a good chunk of my day working on this video, and it's got about 400 views, and it's made me enough money that I can go to a fast food restaurant and buy a thing from the dollar menu. So there you go. The reason I point out these two videos are because they're actually a pretty good representation of my YouTube channel. While I do have some successful videos, the reality is most of my videos don't do that great. I'm not really an amazing YouTuber. I haven't figured out a whole lot of things. That's just the reality of my YouTube channel. I do it as a hobby. I really like doing it. Most of what I do is not really successful in terms of views or revenue. All that being said, the year 2020 has been the best year for me for my YouTube channel, and the mortgage refinance video that I did, it became immediately popular just maybe a few weeks to a month after I published it. That has never happened to me before. I have a few videos that are doing quite well, but it usually takes, several months to a year before those do well. So it was really nice to see that I came out with a video this year that almost instantly was successful. What's really fascinating for me for this video is that the CPM or the RPM for this video just kind of went through the roof. I'm making nearly $20 for each 1,000 views that this video gets. Another interesting thing that happened this year was COVID, and I had actually made a video years back on how to install a bidet, and because of the great toilet paper shortage of 2020, this video immediately spiked up in views and revenue, and that was kind of an interesting thing where it just kind of shows you don't know what video might become popular or for what reason. But that was a nice bonus for me to get some extra money for a video I created way long time ago that is, quite frankly, not even a great video. After looking at all this data, what are the big takeaways for me? The first thing I would say is more or less all my videos have similar production quality and style and content, but some do quite well and a lot or most of my videos don't really do that well. It's just really hard to know, at least for me, what videos will perform well and which won't. The second takeaway is that there are outside influences that may determine how well or how successful a video will be. For example, COVID this year, it made some of my videos perform quite well that wouldn't otherwise do. So that's something that you can use to your advantage. And my biggest takeaway from all of this is that if I was doing this YouTube channel specifically to make money for revenue or for a job, I would probably be pretty depressed. The reality is I do this YouTube channel because I like it. I do videos only on things that I am interested in or things that I'm already doing. So just 10 videos this year, that's not a lot. The only reason I did them was because they're related to things I'm already working on. And it's a great bonus to get a little extra revenue for things that I'm already doing. I just spent some extra time to make sure I have a camera and I document it. I think that's an important thing to keep in mind if you are starting a YouTube channel. If you're not really loving what you're doing, you're probably going to get burnt out and likely you'll get depressed if you don't see success right away. I hope you found some of that information interesting. I know for me, YouTube is really fascinating. I'm just happy I can be a part of it with the small YouTube channel I have. If you have a question about any of this, feel free to write a comment. I would love to have a conversation with you and answer any question you might have. Thanks.